Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. A lot of questions have come in over the years asking me about my opinion on taking Swiss knives out into the wilderness, out into the bush. Hang tight. That's what this is all about. Alright guys, welcome back. As I said, a lot of questions have come in over the years. You know, I'm looking right now. I got my Illinois, it's shameless, but I am representing for the Illinois basketball team right now. They're number 5 in the nation. I know it's nothing to do with Bushcraft, but damn, they're doing good this year. Anyway, okay. So, you know, I've been asked a lot of times, you know, what I think about Swiss Army knives. First of all, they're kind of cool. You know, ever since I was a kid, you know, if you were a Boy Scout and you had a Swiss Army knife, you were bad to the bone. I couldn't afford them back then. So I've stayed away from them as an adult because to me, they're more gimmicky than they are practical bushcraft type of tools, wilderness tools. Back in, let me see, 2001, in December, I bought 2 of them. And it was this model right here. It's called the Swiss Army Champ, or they also called it the Officer for a little while. But this little guy here has 17 different tools in it. And the reason I purchased it, I don't know if you could see on that blade or not where it says Texas Hog Hunt. I bought the knife. I bought 2 of them, one for myself and one for my son, because I bought us a couple plane tickets. We flew down to San Antonio, Texas to go on a hog hunt. And I wanted to commemorate the trip, and I gave him one, and I've kept one. He still has his, and I still have this one here, and we'll never get rid of it because of the memories that I get when I pick it back up and look at it. We had a great time. But it's not been in my pocket one time in 20 years. That's the truth. Because what I said to you, it's very limited in regards to a bushcraft tool. Could you use it in an emergency? The answer is yes. But, you know, there are just so many better options. You know, I mean, you can see how small the blade is. The blade is only about 2 3/4 inches, and the saw on itself is only about 3 inches. Again, you could do some bushcrafting skills with this. You could probably make some trap triggers, but you're going to be limited in the things that you can do, and that's why I didn't ever carry it with me. You know, it's awful bulky, it's awful big, you know, and it's very, very limited. So the answer is I've never carried them because they didn't have anything that made my grease get hot until they came out with this guy here. This is the Ranger Grip 79. They also have a Ranger Grip 78, and the only difference is the 79 has a corkscrew, the 78 has a Phillips screwdriver in its place. Now, this knife does have, you know, the tweezers and the toothpick that Swiss Army knives are known for, you know, and I could use them on the bush. It also has a can opener with a small screwdriver on this end, and then on the other end it has a bottle opener with a larger screwdriver. And like all my knives, there's always something I'm going to do to modify it. So what I did was I put a 90-degree spine that's very sharp on the back of that bottle opener in order to strike a ferrule rod. I don't like using my blade for that. But the 2 stars of the show that really got me to where I said, okay, I'll give it a try, was first of all the blade. Look at that blade. That is a, excuse me, a 4-inch blade, and the saw is a 4-inch saw. Okay, and the blade is locking. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's compare something here. My MAIN EDC folder for the past 5 years has been this CRKT Kit Carson model because it's a great size knife. It weighs good, it fits good in my pocket, and you know, when it's sharp like it should be, there's not a bushcrafting skill that I cannot do with this. I can build trap triggers with this. I can process game. I've even batoned some wood with this, you know, around a campfire. Not very big, obviously, because you don't want to pound on your folder that much. But this has been put together like a tank, and it has been my favorite. The modification I did on this is it had a dual safety. See that little red button right there? I didn't like it because you had to use your thumb down here, and then you had to do this here, and then you had to put it on all your pants and all. I don't like that. So I took that safety off. I know that that's a no-no, but it's my knife. Did what I wanted, you know. So you see, I just put it up together. All right. So that has been the style of knife that I've used and I've advocated. You don't have to get this knife, but this size of a knife that has this many functions or can perform so many duties for you. Yeah, this is it. And you know, I've carried this in my pocket almost exclusively for the last 5 years. The exception to that is when we were testing another folder, and this just kind of sat on the shelf waiting to come back into my pocket. All right, so that's the size. Now let's compare the two. As far as heft, you know, the CRKT is about twice the depth of the Swiss Army Ranger 79, Ranger Grip 79. Okay, is that important? You know, I'm kind of on the fence. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You know, I don't think I'll ever try to baton with this. I might. Knowing me, I'll probably end up doing it. You know, when I tell you don't do it, I'll probably end up doing it. But the length of the blades are pretty close together right there. Can you see that? They're pretty close. So that's important to me. I get a nice long stroke with that. The advantages of this blade over this blade, of course, this is a little more hefty. But I will be able to replace this blade with this when I'm bushcrafting, when I'm going out on a hunt, or if I'm going out on a scout, or you know, whatever I'm doing out there. I can do that with this blade. But where it really excited me, this is a lockback blade also. I guess I'll show you that. You see their logo right there? On this particular model, you press the logo and you could shut the knife that way. Now it is a one-handed, they say it's one-handed deploy and one-handed stow. But because of the fact it's so new, it's really tough to get out of there right now one-handed. Yeah, you see? Had to hold that there. And then to put it back away, you've got to be a little bit careful there because you'll end up cutting ends of fingers off because it's so stiff. But it'll work out for me. Now where I really got excited was a 4-inch true bushcraft style saw. I can build any trap trigger that I want with this. I can build packed frames with this. I can build raised beds with this. I can build shelters with this size of a saw. You know, whenever I took this out by itself, I had to take out a silky saw, gom boy, pocket boy, something along that line. Now they're coming up with buck saws that are a lot smaller also. But you have to take 2 pieces of equipment. Guess what? That eliminates that with this. And that's kind of what really got me excited. So I do like this knife, and I'm looking forward to using it. As I said, the difference between the 78 and the 79 is this corkscrew. And I've had people ask me before, can you really use a corkscrew out in the bush? Well, I've got a couple friends that actually blacksmith some corkscrews specifically for the bush. They're a little bit bigger, longer, and they have a round nut that is welded on the top of it, you know, so you can put a stick in it and you can do some boring. I can do the boring that I want with this. And I'll be doing some demonstrations for you, a couple traps that are really cool that people just don't use anymore with this particular corkscrew here. So there you have it. You know, that is the Swiss Army Ranger Grip 79. It comes in at 4 ounces, somewhere right around 4 ounces. So you don't really feel it in your pocket. What you do notice though with a knife like this compared to this, you see this pocket clip, tip-up pocket clip. To me, just because I have grown so accustomed to having a pocket clip and the knife not falling down into my pocket, I just grab the clip, I can pull it out. I don't like that about this knife. So there is a company out there right now called Swiss Clip that you can take this lanyard off, and they sell a clip for like 16 bucks that you can attach on here. And it hasn't arrived yet, and I'm hoping it's going to fit, and I'm hoping it's going to just be all that and a bag of chips, so I can put it in my pocket. Now, if you look at down the spine, you can tell that the CRKT is about not half, but it is probably a scales thickness wider. I'm going to notice that in my pocket because I like the feel of this in my pocket. Will this be a EDC knife for me? I don't think so, but I think that I will be putting it on my shelf with my gear that I take out exclusively. You know, I got a little place on my shelf that I have things like I've got a fire kit up there, my ferro rod, I got a compass up there, a first aid kit, the bleed kit, that I always go out at every trip. Bingo, that's where that's going to sit, and when I go out, I'll stick this in my pocket. So I hope that helped with those of you that asked me about the Swiss Army knives. Nah, they've been gimmicky to me, and then Swiss Army knife got real smart with these. They've been listening to some of their people, you know, that buy their knives. This is a true bushcraft knife right here. I'm looking forward to getting out with it. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, give you a little bonus right here. Thank you to those guys out there in 29 Palms with the Marine Corps Force Recon group that asked me, have I changed my mind on the MSK1 from Ultimate Survival Tips? And the answer is no. It's a great knife. It's a knife that I could recommend to you. But, you know, some of the drawbacks on it, it's still the same. You know, it's D2. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to sharpen out in the field. It's a little bit heavy. Those things aren't going to change. But one of the questions that I was asked was that they had heard a rumor that David, the designer of this knife and the owner of the company, had smartened up a little bit and got away from the D2 because a lot of people in the military complained that it rusted, got too much rust on it. That's a lot of what I heard. And he has developed 3 new knives. I'm not going to tell you all about them too much, except to tell you that one is made out of 1075 steel, and it is a dope looking knife. It's really sexy looking. And then he's got a second level knife that he has made. I really can't tell you too much about that, but the third one, I'll tell you the name of it. It's called the Elite Warrior, and it was built with military personnel in mind. And that's why the guys out there in 29 Palms reached out to me and asked me if I had even heard about it, which I had not. I hadn't talked to David in a while. So I did reach out to him, and he told me, yes, we've got these 3, sent me pictures, and I was like, wow. And when you see the new MSK1 Elite Warrior, you're going to get excited. You really are. It's a super nice boutique stainless steel that it's made out of. The handle design is a little bit different, the grip on it. Just a bunch of cool features. It is a 3-edged system. This is only one. This is only one. His new one is 3. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So again, this is about Swiss Army knives, but I had to throw that in there because you all been asking me about the MSK1, wanting an update on it. Still bad to the bone. But I'm getting excited about seeing the new ones from Dave. So listen, if you like these videos that we're doing, subscribe to the channel. And when you do, we're going to enter you into our monthly database for free giveaways. We've been giving away some pretty good stuff ever since we started doing that, you know. Everybody says thank you for that. So like it, share it, and get some good news going out there with everybody to watch Backwoods Biker out here. And don't forget to go out to backwoodsbiker.com. and read your issue. You know, it's still free. Every month it's still free. And this last issue was pretty cool. You know, had a thing on there, wool blankets that really people have really liked. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm starting to rambling here. Appreciate all your support, all the love that you show to us, the emails that you send, and the comments that you make. So until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.